Yo, what's up, guys? Joker bringing you another video. This is going to be going over Diablo 4 Season 2, the Season of Blood. I wanted to go ahead and make my first impressions of the season. At this point, I'd say I have 12 hours about in the season. I'm up to Act 3 on the season journey, so I'm pretty much almost done with the numbered season journeys and I have killed Lord Zir, which is the final boss that came out with the Season of Blood. Now I just have to unlock World Tier 3, as well as like get my character to a higher level. But I just wanted to make a quick video going over my opinions of the season and the changes. So up first is going to be the horse itself. That was one of my biggest complaints in the last season as well as in the preseason, right? The horse sucked complete ass. Now you can feel a noticeable difference. This motherfucker goes fast. So the horse is no longer an issue. As long as you press that space bar once or twice, then you're good. You're actually going to get to where you're going relatively fast. It doesn't seem like it's based on your mouse at all anymore, really, besides like the initial direction, the speed, having your mouse closer and further away. As long as you hit space, it doesn't even seem to matter. So that's a really good change. The second thing that I want to bring up actually is going to be the amount of unique items that are dropping. It seems like they increased that quite a lot, like three, four, five times. I'm getting a lot of uniques, so I have access to a lot more legendary aspects than I feel like I did in the preseason or the season one prior to this point. Like I have like five times the amount of aspects that I can use and play around with, stuff like that. That being said, it is kind of bad that we have the same stash space. That's going to be my main complaint. Uh, a lot of other stuff does feel good, but the fact that we still only get five stash tabs and the fact that we are getting more legendary items now, so more legendary aspects as well, is it feels a little bad that we don't have any additional stash tabs to actually use. But all in all, that's going to be a net positive, I would say, with the more items being more of a benefit to help get you through the early game than the stash space is required because you don't have to save every legendary item or legendary aspect, especially if they're low to mid roll. Just delete them. Chances are you'll find a better item in the next couple of levels, anyways. So it's going to be that net positive for me on the fact that they seem to have increased the amount of legendaries that drop. Up next, we have the EXP. You can definitely feel the EXP increases from all the different types of events, plus just the flat EXP bonus, EXP changes that they made. When I first jumped into the season, I ran over to a Legion and I went from level 3 to 8 in that like 10 minutes. It was kind of insane. So you do level up relatively fast. Up next is going to be probably, what else did they rework? The dungeons, right? I know they reworked Nightmare Dungeons, but I could have swore it applied to all of the dungeons. It seems like the dungeons are still kind of a blah layout. Like in my opinion, they're too long. I think that they need to just cut the size of the dungeons in half or like double the density of mobs in them once again because how I've been leveling is through the open world. I'm going to make a video showing my method because I think it's the funniest, easiest, most chill method. But the leveling through the open world, especially with the season event, the thing that is like a hell tide, but it's always ongoing, like the vampiric outbreaks or whatever they're called, those are a really good source of materials, EXP, vampiric powers, the blood you need to level up powers. So they do give you a lot because they give huge EXP, huge items, very common legendary. So they're just better than the dungeons, in my opinion. And the last thing that they changed, I believe, at least that I can remember, the Trio of Whispers. The Trio of Whispers is actually really strong now, in my opinion. I'm usually getting at least 1 to 2 legendaries on top of the fact that I'm getting 500,000 gold every time I open a cache. And the amount of EXP you get is also fairly decent. And once again, I'm only level 44 and I'm only in at the world tier 2. I still have to do the thing to go to world tier 3 and 4. So I'm still pretty early on. And I think the Trio of Whispers is in a good spot. What my leveling method essentially is pairing the season mechanic and the whispers, and I'm leveling up relatively fast. I think the last event I did, in 30 minutes, I went from level 41 to 43. So it's pretty good. Now, let's talk about the negatives of the season. I just went over all the changes and why I felt that they were good, but this is going to be the part where I go over what I feel still needs work, right? So, a lot of that is going to mainly be additional quality of life, right? Have a pet that can pick up materials just like automatically for us, like they have in D4, right? How you can have the pet and the pet runs around and picks up all the gold. Something like that, but that way it picks up the gumball junk too, right? That way I don't have to click, or I know it's like a vacuum, but it's still annoying. Something to pick up the little things like they have in D3 would be extremely helpful. Next is going to be the storage size, right? That's my biggest complaint is the fact that we only have 5 tabs, I'm sorry, is going to be terrible, especially if you have multiple characters. Like I said, I'm on one character, I'm level 44, and I already have one of my 5 stash tabs full of legendary aspects. Now, I know I could disassemble them, but almost the same thing. My aspect bag would fill up in another, like, I don't know, hour or two if I just disassembled. So that's why I was saying make sure that you just throw away low or medium rolled aspects, because with the amount of legendaries that are dropping now and with the league mechanic, you're going to get higher rolled aspects on better bases way quicker. And then the only other thing that I can really complain about is the lag and the fact that the season pass didn't work on League launch, but they seem to have fixed that, so that's really cool. What I mean is the season journey would not let you progress, and to get through the season storyline, you have to do the season journey. So since that was bugged for the first like 3 hours of the league launch, what you had to do is just pretty much run around and level up. You weren't able to actually progress the storyline for the additional vampiric powers, kill Lord Zir, all of that. You weren't able to do any of that. And the other thing I grouped with it, the lag, it's just really bad. I don't know what they did. I don't know how they managed to fuck it up, but it's terrible. If you run into the open world event, you lag out for a solid 5, 10, 15 seconds, and it makes my computer sound like a jet engine. I don't know if there's some kind of data leak in D4 where everything's counting as rendered 100% of the time, even when it's off screen. But my computer, fucking, it's not supposed to sound like a jet engine just zoning. So, but that's pretty much it. That's going to be the end of my first impressions of the Season of Blood, the season 2 for Diablo 4. Do I feel like you should play it? If you own Diablo 4, sure, give it a shot. It'll give you maybe 30, 50 hours of enjoyment. And depending on how much you play, that could be a week or two, leads up until the temporary leagues for Path of Exile, leads up to old school RuneScape's season event game mode that they have. So, like, I need stuff leading up until November. So the fact that I feel like Diablo 4 might be able to do that for me just to last me that little bit of time until November, I'm happy with it. But I'm going to continue to make update videos about my opinions as I play more as well. On top of the fact, I'm going to make videos about getting EXP, leveling characters, vampiric powers, all of that, since there is a little complex, but it's like you could figure it out, but it'd be easier if someone just explained it to you real quick. But nah, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with this and future videos. And until next time, take care.